Well, hi everyone. Uh, Glad you could make it if you're watching this. And this is just going to be one of my Q and A's that I do here. And I got my friend Tom Hunyadi with me today, who's a big movie collector and movie fan.
Yeah.
And you may possibly know that Tom and I do a show together called Talk More Talk, which is a solo Beatles show as a video
Mhm.
cast where we talk about the careers of the Beatles after they broke up. You can find that channel here if you want to watch any of those shows over on YouTube as well. Talk More Talk. And Tom also has another show that he does with his partner Andy Nichols, and it's a Paul McCartney show for the most part, and it's called Two Legs. All right, number two
Mm.
legs. So I'm so glad that Tom was able to join me again. We've done a few of these. If you want to look back, you can find we did a couple of these where we talked about movies, Tom and
Mhm.
I. So we're here basically to just to see what develops, have talk movies, questions. Tom, have you picked anything up lately, movie
I
wise?
had so no McCartney, right? Right? We're taking a break.
We're trying to take a break from Beatles related stuff. Unless it's
Yeah,
movie,
no Beatles.
if it's give my regards to Broad Street, why not?
No,
Oh
we're
no, I
no.
know
Let's
what you're
take a break.
talking about. No, no,
Yeah,
none of that
yeah,
stuff. None of that memorabilia or records or anything.
yeah. We're taking a break, but yeah, but we all know that the Barnes and Nobles half price sales going on, the Criterion sale, and I did pick up a couple films there recently, and one that I did pick up that just came out this month. It's a really early spine, so I was really happy to have this because I love the first 100 spines from Criterion, and that's a film called Summertime with Katharine Hepburn, and this is
Wow.
directed by David Lean from 1955. This was before Bridge on the River Kwai and Lawrence of Arabia and all that stuff. But really enjoy this movie. It takes place in Venice, so a lot of great Italian scenery. Um, Another one I got is arguably one of my favorite movies of all time that Criterion just put out as well, and that's Raging Bull. Um, that's spine number 1134. And spine number 1133 is a film that was a Netflix film. It did have a little bit of an old, it did have a little bit of a theatrical release, but it's called Okja. And this was a really fun film as well with Tilda Swinton and who else was there in here? Whole bunch of other actors that I Jake Gyllenhaal was in this as well. This Cool Hand Luke, um,
Oh yeah.
this yeah, this came out in 2008, and I've been holding off from buying this because I was hoping that they put out like a big 50th anniversary of this, and that never happened. So I said, screw it. I just picked it up, and the film last one the film that I saw this when I was in Michigan a few weeks ago, and just fell in love with this film, and wonder if some of the people here have seen that, and it's called Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No, I don't know
And
this.
yeah, it's a really cool, action packed, fun movie. So if you guys, if anybody want to check this out, it's really cool. So but
Yeah.
that's what I
Out of
picked
all
up recently.
those movies, if my short-term memory is working, the ones I've seen are Cool Hand Luke, which I really
Hmm.
like, and The Raging Bull, which I like
Yeah.
half of. I know I'm in the minority with that,
Right.
but
That's
no, that's
fine. I mean, De
a favorite
Niro's
of yours.
character is he's a bastard,
I have to tell
So
you, I made a flea market video recently. It's on my other channel, which I might as well promote here. I have another channel. If some of you don't know, watching this, called Mean Mr. Mayo, and it's mostly Beatles music related. But I did have a flea market video recently where I went to the flea market and I got a Charlton Heston autograph, which I know is authentic. I mean, I can authenticate a Charlton Heston autograph. I've gotten many when he was around. I got a few in person, and
hmm
then I sent to the house, and I got secretarials,
hmm.
which are very, very close. You almost wouldn't know. I didn't know right away. Then I found out, and you can tell the difference. But the reason I mentioned that, Tom, I didn't tell you this. The guy had a lot of autographs. He said, "Look," and
Hmm.
some of them were cheap. I mean, like he wanted $20 for most of the time.
Right.
and one of them was a Robert De Niro autograph,
Ah.
and I don't know what movie it was. He was very young in it,
Mhm.
and I didn't recognize the movie. And it said, "Best
Right.
wishes, Robert De Niro," and
Yeah.
I like the whole thing. Best wishes. Maybe if he's there again, I'll look. But the thing is, I was only reason I bought the Heston one was because I'm so able. I already got a few ones I got myself, so I
Right.
know what that it was real.
Right.
He said, "I don't know." He said, "I don't charge a lot because I don't know what's real and what's not." I think he must have bought a couple of books from a
Mhm.
collector who passed away or something. And it look, I've seen his autograph, De Niro. It
Yeah, I
looked
got it
real
right.
to me.
I don't know if you're gonna see. Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
yeah,
There's.
that would. Yeah, that's. Yeah, yeah. The one I
Mm.
saw was maybe a little more. I don't know. Do I dare say legible?
Mhm.
I don't know. A little more
Right.
together, but
Mhm.
I don't. But still, it looked like it. So yeah, I was almost gonna
Cool.
get it, but I wasn't.
Mhm.
I wasn't 100% sure. All right, so we got some people joining us here, including Woodland Goblin, Richard James, and Richard James. I want to say everybody that we got here: Beans,
Beans.
Kimba, Matthew Smith,
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen. Come on, read some names. Help me out here, Sir James,
Yeah.
and I think that's it right
Woodland's
now.
here. Yeah.
But the questions are really there's Beatle related questions, even though we do this to
Right.
get away from Beatles. We need a break from those guys,
Well,
And we do it.
if we're waiting on questions, you want to talk a little monsters here for a minute?
Oh, I figure that's going to come up, but
Right.
yeah, okay. What do you want
Well, because I'm hearing now today that it's gonna premiere on Netflix. It's like I'm
to? I
hearing
heard that.
now that that it's looking like it's gonna be an actual show as well, and not just a film. So and then it's supposed to be on this, and the Adams Family revival is supposed to be
Mm.
on Netflix as well. So
Well, you know my feelings, I guess.
yeah. Oh, I
But,
do. I do.
but again, I always feel I got to justify it because I'm known to hate modern remakes and all this, but
Right.
there are some later remakes, modernized remakes, quote, that I liked. And I'll
Yeah.
just name some of them. War of the Worlds
Mhm.
with Tom Cruise. I like that. I like Mighty Joe Young, the Disney Mighty Joe Young.
Mhm.
I like John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I could name other ones too. So it's not like I just would watch something. And say, oh, automatically, I don't like it. But I grew up with the monsters. It's really hard to get those images out of your mind, and this is nothing like the monsters.
What about the 80s and 90s revisited
I
of that?
never gave them enough of a chance. Same thing, but one of them had John Shuck, is his name right, as
Mm,
Herman. That one wasn't too good, but I saw the other one. I don't remember the names of the shows, the differences. The other one had a pretty good Herman in it, but I forget
mhm.
who it was. Um, it I don't know, but at first my reaction was going to be based on the trailer, which I don't
Right.
like judging movies by the trailers. Obviously, that's a
Right.
rule, right? But I
Yes.
said I'm not going to see it because in this particular case, everything you needed to know that the way they look, the way they act, the way they perform the roles,
Mhm.
it's all there.
Right.
So I'm like, you could almost tell it's going to suck. But I said, no, I made two videos. The first video, I said, okay, yeah, based on this trailer, I'm not seeing it. Then I thought,
Mhm.
no, I'm not going to say that. Let me redo it and I'll leave it open because I probably will see it. I
Yeah.
mean, people wanted me to see it. People watching my channel, they're like, I want you to see it
Yeah, you
because,
should see it.
you
I
know,
mean, I when I watched the trailer at first, I was like, this can't, this is a fake. It can't be real. Um, and I kind of want to see it now just to see if it's going to be as bad as this trailer. And
exactly.
normally I wouldn't do something like that, but it's got me intrigued now. With this trailer being so bad.
Yeah, and I do like one thing I liked about it was I thought it was interesting that it's an origin story like before the TV
Right.
show. There's no
Right.
Marilyn, there's no Eddie,
Right.
and that's because they haven't Lily and Herman haven't met yet. They have no
Mhm.
children or whatever. Or Lily's is that cousin Lily's cousin Marilyn? But the whole thing is that it's supposed to be how they're courting
Yeah. Right.
Lily and Herman, and Grandpa, who I think, well, he's going to be called the Count. And that's
Mhm.
another interesting thing. He's not Grandpa yet because he's not a grandfather.
Right.
So he's the Count Dracula, and he's pretty good. I think
Right.
he seems pretty good.
Right.
So I think he's the saving grace, if anything.
Right. And
But
if people
yeah, so
don't know the person playing Herman, he was the original Geico caveman.
I
Yeah.
found out.
Yeah.
And his voice is all wrong. I hate to say, you see,
Right.
because I know people say sometimes, well, what's the point? And it might have been Tim Allen who said it in a comment on my video, under my video. He said, what's the point if it's the same, exactly the
Mhm.
same? What's the point?
Right.
And I'm saying, yeah, I get it, but there's some things that have to be respected, I guess. And Herman just does not have a silly, flighty voice like this. He just doesn't talk like this. I mean,
Right.
that's crazy. Who would have been really good, and I forgot to mention it in my video,
Mhm.
Brad Garrett, who
Oh, yeah.
he
Yeah.
is tall, he's got a deep voice,
Voice.
and
Yep.
did you ever know that he imitates Herman Munster?
No.
He actually
No.
has done some things on, I don't know
Mhm.
if it's Comedy Central or award show. He used to stand up at the microphone and do the laugh, oh, and all this.
Mhm.
He used to like imitate. He got the moves down. He's a fan. I I don't know if they never thought of him. He's not doing much right now. I see him on commercials, Brad
Right.
Garrett. So I
Mhm.
don't know. But I'm
Yeah.
going to back up here, Tom, a little because there was
Yeah,
actually a.
Kimba asked a question that I can answer
All right,
for
where
her. It was regarding a Bridget Bardot film.
Bridget
Um,
Bardot.
yeah,
Oh, here it goes. Let me bring it
yeah,
up so people could
yeah,
see it. All right.
yes, yeah. I watched that film last year, La Verte or whatever, but it's the truth. And I thought it was one of her best acted films. So Kimba, I think you will definitely like it. She's not her usual ditzy self. Her role is pretty strong. So I enjoyed it.
But I've been dying, even though I said I would like to get away from Beatles. I'm going to when we first started here, there were some early questions,
Yeah.
like Richard James saying, "Let's talk about the best Beatle movie, Magical Mystery Tour." Well,
Well,
I think that's a joke. Uh,
it's got some great scenes. I won't lie. I mean, listen, we got to be
You're
honest
lying.
with. I mean, there's some cool stuff. Hey, listen, the Lennon scooping up the spaghetti with the shovel
Oh yeah, that's a good scene.
it's pretty comical, you
And I
know.
love I Am the Walrus, but that's the
Yeah.
performance. And I do
Right.
like the Fool on the Hill segment.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I do think it's very well done, kind of dreamy and trippy, like a
Right.
lot of the movie. I like Magical Mystery Tour. I can enjoy it because it's the Beatles. It's only an hour long or a little under an hour. It's like it is a TV thing,
Right. Right.
really. And I always say it serves now as like a video album.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, like they used to
We
make video albums, or
yeah. We just got to
you
get
know,
rid of that bar over the strippers
oh,
booth.
and Woodland Goblin says A Hard Day's Night is the best. I mean, I
Oh
definitely
yeah.
think it's the best cinematically.
Right.
I prefer Help by a little tiny bit. I like them both. I love them both, A Hard Day's Night and Help.
Hmm. Hmm.
But to me, Help is more zany and colorful and wild, and sometimes I'm in the mood for that.
Right.
But Hard Day's Night, I really respect.
Mhm, mhm.
I don't
Alright,
even know. I don't
no
even
more
know if he's
Beatles, people.
serious.
No more Beatles, people. Come on.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Let's see now. Okay. So, any questions or comments about movies? I'm going to go down. I know they're there. Just let me find them for myself, because
Mm.
the scrolling is a bit much sometimes here. I know there was one after the Bridget Bardot one. This one here. Why wasn't there more said about Elvis's death in the movie Elvis?
Why does
Um,
there need
I
to be?
I suspect that again, they're protecting Elvis's legacy. They should have had Elvis really hitting rock bottom. Some people say, "Oh, they did show that." They gave it lip service, sure, but they didn't want to go there. They didn't want to have him really fat and bloated through most of the end of the movie. They really had a nice, svelte looking, thin Austin Butler. He's over there telling Priscilla in the limousine, Priscilla, I'm going to be 40. When he's 40, he's fat.
Yeah.
And they even say just before that, it's funny because there's a newscaster that they play from the news saying, something about Elvis's waistline now exceeds his waistline, or something about his waistline. So
Mhm,
then after that, the scene with Priscilla in the limousine, he's kind of trim.
mhm.
So I'm like, it doesn't even fit that. Now I'm not saying because I want Elvis to be ridiculed or because I want Elvis to be made fun of or
Right.
looking like bad. But let's stick with the way it is, you
Yeah, I
know,
mean, did they show Freddie Mercury die in that Queen movie?
which I didn't
Uh,
see.
yeah, nor did I. I mean, that's why I'm asking the question. But
No.
we have one here from Jeff Kendall towards the bottom there. If you want to find that, Joe.
Oh, I'm trying. Hold on, I'm trying to let go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's your favorite Bogart movie?
Yeah, I
Um,
I tend to go lean towards Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
yeah, that's as I'm thinking of them, that one didn't enter my mind, but I do like that. I'm trying to think. What's the one? Oh boy, uh, Bogart is in this, isn't it? The one I'm thinking of. God, the one with Edward G. Robinson.
Oh,
He
he's in
is
a
he in
bunch.
Key Largo?
Key Largo. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Key Largo,
Yeah.
but
Key Largo.
also yeah, Treasure of the Sierra Madre is pretty up there. And what's the one where he has the bandages on?
Oh,
Somebody has
yeah,
the
yeah. Dark
bandages on.
Passage. Was that Dark
Dark
Passage?
Passage.
Yeah.
I was in a Bogart kick once, and I was watching
Yep.
all of that.
Oh, yeah.
But
Those early gangster ones where he's more of a supporting act were pretty good. The ones he did with
there's one with
Cagney were pretty good
Betty
too.
Davis. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Petrified Forest.
The Roaring Twenties,
Yep. Yep.
the
Petrified
Petrified
Forest.
Forest. I like those. Yeah, Petrified Forest. I really was. That was a surprise when I saw it. I really did like that.
Angels with Dirty
Um,
Faces. I think he has a supporting role in that too, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. But the one that I kind of like, but I think is kind of overrated, and that's the African Queen, with Katharine
never
Hepburn.
saw that.
Yeah, yeah,
That's classic. But
yeah, yeah. In a Lonely
these.
Place too. Matthew Smith said is great too. Yeah.
All right, there was somebody asked favorite Munsters episode. I'm trying to highlight it, but I'm all over them. I'm going up and down with
Right.
the scroll, and I can't find it. I I don't know what to say. I like the one when Herman becomes a rock and roll star. He's playing
Hmm.
around with a tape recorder and he's singing into it, and it gets somehow it gets on the radio, and he's a big radio sensation. I like
Mm.
that one. I like the one with I think that's the one with the Nothing Muffins when they try to ruin his voice. Grandpa makes Nothing Muffins to turn his voice into like Mickey Mouse or something, so he can't
Mm.
sing anymore.
Yeah.
So
I can't remember. I mean, I remember watching, a few episodes as a kid, but I don't remember any particular episode.
Bob Hope. I haven't seen a lot of the Bob Hope and Bing Crosby movies, but there was one on.
Mm.
I don't think I had ever seen one of the road pictures until one was on,
Yeah,
and I
never
did
seen
watch it,
any of those.
and it was all right. We had good chemistry, but I'm not a
I
big Bob Hope fan.
I am not a Bob Hope fan. I'm not a fan of his comedy. Just yeah, I can do without him. Do
What do
without
you
him.
really think, though? That's what I want to know. Y- You ever? Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, just trying to be honest, I guess.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do right now, it's weird with this particular channel. Somebody said hit the like button. What I'm trying to do is get up to
Yeah.
4,000 watch hours, which I don't even know what that is. I'm not even half. I'm not even up to 2,000 yet. I don't know why. It's slow going here. I'm used to my other channel, Mean Mr. Mayo, and that does really well. So
Hmm.
this is it's a little weird having to build it up. Strange as Ringo Starr is basically rock and roll's answer to Bob Hope.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah,
Um,
Kimba says she likes Jack Benny better.
really. Um, I saw a little bit of a movie I have on disc.
Hmm.
It was on Kerner again. It's a mad, 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 mad world, and they have all
Yeah.
these comedians in there. I remember showing that to my nephew, and he was like, "What the hell is this?" He didn't know any of the actors or the
Right.
comedians, so that maybe didn't help too much.
Mm, yeah.
Well, that's good. What we need is more people. We got 27. We need more like 80.
There you go.
So that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Beans. You know I think that his son Eddie has a friend who has a tape recorder, and he
Right.
leaves the tape recorder at the house, and he plays around with it. He's singing this song. My toe bone's connected to my foot bone. My foot bone's connected to my ankle bone. He's doing all this stuff, and then he brings the tape recorder back to his dad. I think his dad works at a radio station. He's like, "Who is this? This is a great singer." You know, it is. It is. That's one of my favorite ones. Yeah.
Mm.
There's also a good one when they divide the house in two. Herman and Grandpa have an argument, and they paint a line down the whole length of the house that they'd have to stay on their own side. I'm talking about this stuff. It's so familiar to me. Seen it since I'm like a child. You know.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't. I never got another version of. I don't even have a Blu-ray. I still have a DVD. And I got to
Mm.
tell you, as much as I love Blu-ray, um, some of the movies I've been watching lately, they still look damn good. I forget which one I watched. The Devil's Advocate. I watched The Devil's Advocate, and
Right.
it's one of the first DVDs that were out
Right.
from '97. It has the old
Yeah.
snapper case of,
Yeah. I
snap,
hated those.
and
But
it looks good.
yeah. Well, the Blu-ray of a Blu-ray player does enhance,
Yes, the quality goes up.
DVDs. Yeah, exactly.
They keep telling me that when I get a 4K TV, which mine is not a 4K TV,
Mm.
that there's going to be a different. You're going to see the DVDs aren't going to look so good on there, but I don't know.
Right. Right.
What's my favorite? I like Don Knotts, but I don't watch the movies like The Ghost of Mr. Chicken or anything like that. I don't even know
Yeah.
any of the movies. And Svengoolie was just playing one on
Mm.
Saturday night. I think that was the one, The Ghost and Mr. Chicken.
Mm.
Is that your partner there?
There's yeah, Blazing Saddles. Talk about a movie that can't be that wouldn't be remade these days.
Yeah, and it's great as is.
Yeah.
Well,
It'd be 5 minutes long if it was remade today. Yeah.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Docus, incredible Mr. Limpet. Yeah, I mean he's funny. He has kind of like he definitely has a funny shtick, the nervous guy or whatever.
Yeah,
But
but a lot of that like works in half-hour sitcoms. It
yeah,
doesn't work in 90-minute movie. Like I say this about a lot of Saturday Night Live alum. Their stuff works in 5, 6, 7 minute shorts. They don't for me work all the time in 90-minute films.
yeah, I get you on that. What are your thoughts on Rebel Without a Cause with James Dean?
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
I've seen Rebel Without a Cause and East of Eden.
Yep.
However, that's 20 years ago or something when I was really going crazy watching all the classics, and I have notes. I just don't have them handy,
Yeah.
so I don't remember what I thought. Do you have any?
Yeah, I love all three. But I would say Giant is probably my favorite of the three. I like his role better in that one. And then Rebel would be two, and then whatchamacallit would be East of Eden would be the third favorite. But yeah, it's just too bad we just lost him too early.
Well, you could bring him back. Whatever happened when they were going to
Oh
bring
yeah,
him
we can
back?
bring him back.
I heard that. That's one of my rant videos. They were going to bring James Dean back with CGI or something.
Yeah, that's right. But
Um,
Rebel Without a Cause is a classic. Natalie Wood is terrific in that.
Natalie Wood, I like her as she gets older.
Mhm.
In the
I agree.
60s
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
or
Top
66
notch.
around there.
I
Uh,
I get what you're saying there,
you
pal.
know, Mr. Farley's greatest hits. Kimba, it's funny you should say that. That's out of all the things I've seen with Don Knotts, I probably like Mr. Farley the best from Three's Company.
Mm.
Yeah, well, this is true to a degree. It is, and it really sucks. Elvis had a thing against the Beatles later on. You know,
Isn't it
that is
funny
true.
how isn't it funny just how they creep in, Beatles just
Yeah, Beatles always have to come in. Beatles
they just
questions.
creep in.
Oh, here we
Uh,
go. Ed of the King's Court. Hello,
yeah.
Ed. What date did Alex Kintner die? Now, July 3rd. Am I right about that? Because you sent me something, and I never really think of it. I think it's July 3rd, 1975 or four, depending something on the. If you
Mm.
look at it when the movie's released or when it was shot. Oh shoot, I was wrong.
Uh-oh.
July 2nd, June. June was it late June? June 30th.
Give the man a hint, will ya? Uh, Joe doesn't like what? Come on, Woodland.
Oh, I love
Uh,
ladies.
oh, there you go.
June 28th. Okay, there's the answer. Oh, wow, I screwed that up big time.
Mm.
That's right, because in the movie when Murray Hamilton says, "Tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business," it's going to be one of the best sermons we've ever had.
Mhm.
That was too late in the film, since July
Right.
3rd. So,
Mm.
oh, okay, it's on the bounty side. What's your favorite James Cagney movie? I got it.
Well,
The one, the Public Enemy. The Public Enemy.
Public Enemy is yes, that's a good one. I do like Angels with Dirty
Angels
Faces
with
as
Dirty
well.
Faces, of course.
Yeah,
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 with that ending
yeah,
in that
yep.
movie.
And White Heat, that's a good one as well.
Yeah, he plays a mama's boy that
Yeah,
goes crazy. Yeah. Yeah, ma.
yeah. Made it, ma, top of the world.
Uh,
Uh, but
what do I
yeah,
think?
Cagney's got some good stuff.
The thing about Andrew Dice Clay for me is like I here's the thing with me. Like I would ordinarily say, what a no talent. Somebody just curses and swears for the hell of it. But I gotta say, I like Andrew Dice Clay in his heyday because I know he's playing a character. He's playing like a
Yes,
typical chauvinistic schmuck that
right.
jerk that he's not. I don't think he's really like that at all. I think that's the whole thing. Hey,
He
hickory
based
dickory dock. I can't
yeah
say the rest.
he based the character off of the person that um Jerry Lewis turned into from the Nutty Professor, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I just
Um,
remember something I saw. I don't know what the hell it was. It was something that somebody will tell me if it sounds familiar. He did something where he plays a real geeky guy like this. And it was like a little short feature on a video. And he's like, "Yes, dear. Yes," and his wife is very domineering. "You do what I tell you. You go out and get me, do the shopping and the dishes." "Yes, dear." And then something happens. I don't know if he watches a video. Something transforms him into a man. And then he like busts through the door and he's Dice.
yeah.
And he
Mm,
goes, his wife, and he's always all like, tough.
yeah.
And the wife goes, "So, are you cooking anything for dinner?" And he goes, "If I do, it'll be your big fat ass." I just thought it was like all of a sudden he's like these dice. I thought that was like the funniest thing.
Yeah. I was introduced to him when I was probably 14 or 15, very impressionable, so I saw him live, so I enjoy him.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, it's the kind of thing I would never really like. Like, I'm not. Let's not say any of the rhymes. The nursery rhymes. You've seen nursery rhymes. I'd be
Right.
like, "What's so? That's so. Anybody could do that." But however, I just get into
However,
the character.
yeah, however, anybody can, but that doesn't mean they're going to sell out Madison Square Garden 3 days in a row,
Yeah.
you know.
And if I miss any questions, just repeat it.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I've never, Ed, I've never seen Chinatown. I can't
Oh,
believe it.
no.
I like Nicholson. I like Polanski. I never saw it.
Oh,
I never
Chinatown's
saw
great.
Big Trouble in Little. By the way, Ed, while you're here, I still would like one day to do a nice Jaws. We could do a Jaws show in the summer, unless you want to wait a few years to the anniversary, 75.
Yeah. I'll take Chinatown any day of the week over Big Trouble in Little China.
Now, W.C. Fields, I didn't see all his movies, but he's being scolded by the wife and swallowing a
Yeah.
cigarette on the way down the
Yeah.
stairs. I don't remember that.
I think the only one I've seen of his was The Bank Dick.
I remember first seeing that and being disappointed a long time ago, thinking it wasn't
Mm,
that great. I didn't think. Now I think a hearty handshake. Remember, he had a thing with a hearty handshake, and you see
right,
this picture, this really limp hand shaking the hand.
right.
Yeah, I can't argue with this too much. That's for sure.
Yep.
Who was my favorite dead end kid? Well, that's easy for me. Leo Gorsi, the
Mm,
boss there. The view from out here is absolutely excruciating. We got to get into a business that's a little more ludicrous.
mm,
He's the king of the malapropisms. Uh,
mm.
and I have all 48 of the Bowery Boys movies, and
Oh, cool. Mm,
there's a lot of stuff to be watching, but I don't know how to present this stuff on my channel because, when I do just one movie at a time,
mhm,
not many people, not everybody's interested in the same movie. If you do a review of like the new Thor movie, everybody wants to watch it. If you do like I did a movie the other day, Law and Disorder,
mhm.
with Carol O'Connor and Ernest Borgnine,
Yeah.
nobody cares
I
about
have
that.
to see. I'm gonna have to see that because 70s was my favorite decade for film,
Well,
and
it's on
you
YouTube
know.
right now, free
Oh, it
on
is.
YouTube,
Okay. All
I
right.
believe, because I don't know how the quality is, but because
Mm,
the story, you might have heard the story. It's
right.
one of
Yeah,
those
I
out of
watched.
print
Yeah.
DVDs. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
watched
cost
that
me
video.
45 bucks, and that was a bargain, sealed. So
Mhm. Yep. Let's see here. Do you like
yeah, if you
Marx
see
Brothers?
anything that I missed, let's go ahead. Marx Brothers.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I enjoy them. I mean, I love Duck Soup. I love Night at the Opera.
Yeah, the funny thing with me is, well, when I grew up, I didn't like the Marx Brothers. I didn't see too much, but whatever I saw, I didn't like them. But then in later years, I got to like them, particularly
Right.
Harpo and Groucho.
Mm,
I still don't think Chico is all that much. I don't get it. But man, Duck Soup. There's a lot of good. That scene with the mirror where Groucho's in front of the mirror. That is one of the funniest scenes ever filmed.
mhm.
And I think in that movie, that's when you have Harpo with Edgar Kennedy in the lemonade stand, like bothering his
Uh,
lemonade stand. I think is funny. And yeah, so and A Night at the Opera was the first one I ever saw.
mm, mhm.
I mean, seriously saw. Well, so I'm going to sit down and then watch one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit. That was on the big screen twice. It was on recently, a couple of years ago before COVID. I saw it with my girlfriend on the big screen. We brought it back,
Oh,
and it was
really?
just on again this year. It
Mm.
was on again, big screen. I like that.
Let's see here. Are either of you? Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. You could, if I can't find it, just say it's fine.
For Tim Allen, are any of you spaghetti western fans?
I'm a spaghetti fan, but
Spaghetti.
and
Okay.
a Western fan. Not so much
Yeah.
spaghetti Western.
Not necessarily the two mixed together, right?
No. Uh, but Blind Man.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
that's a spaghetti Western, isn't it? It's Italian Western.
maybe.
And I saw some of them that I just they're supposed to be great. Didn't do anything for me. I don't know why.
Mm.
Oh yeah, hardcore. Turn it off. I love hardcore. I love it.
Ah!
Wasn't that a movie we were thinking of doing at one point?
We talked about maybe reviewing
We-
that one. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah, I've
that's
got it
one.
over here. Yeah,
But I want a better. Yeah, right. You showed it once.
yeah.
But is that a different region? Is that like
Yeah, no, no, no. It's a US. It's a region A. So you would but see, it's yeah. Twilight Time put that out. I don't know if it would be available anymore if it's sold out because at the time that Twilight Time distributor, when they got the rights for a film, it was usually only like 2 to 3,000 copies they were able to distribute.
Well, from what I researched after you last showed it, I think that's a movie that needs a better release. I have, well, I mean, I have a. Geez, in the meantime, I have a DVD of it, um, and it's more than serviceable. I don't know, it's fine. Um, but I would like to get a really beautiful one. How
Well,
do you think Saturday Night Fever has aged, Tom?
well,
I haven't seen it, mate.
Well, I we watch it here. My wife's a huge Travolta fan. I love the film. I think it's a good film. It's a definitely a period piece, I guess you can call it. But yeah, I mean, listen, you know, guys are pricks. Guys are assholes. I mean, a lot of that stuff now you frown upon. Gang fights. Abuse to women. Yeah. I mean, it's not aged well. Absolutely not. But it's still a good movie.
I would agree. I mean, I've seen, yeah. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is really disturbing. And I always say I didn't see it until on a videotape. One time, around 1985 or something, I rented a videotape.
Mhm,
The quality looked like shit, but that enhanced the movie.
mhm.
Made it looked like somebody's sick, twisted home movies.
Right.
Like a family was recording this stuff or something and put it out.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was disturbing, and that stuff doesn't really usually disturb me, but that one was. I've seen movies since then though, even more disturbing, if you can believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, actually, I do have a few of films that I consider very disturbing. One being "I Spit on Your Grave," uh, another one being "Pink Flamingos" and
I've heard a
"Salo."
lot about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, but yeah, there's a few out there.
Well, one movie that I saw recently again, I recently watched American Graffiti again, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. And then I put this on, which I like now, and didn't always like it, and that's
Which
more
one?
American Graffiti,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
the sequel to American Graffiti.
Right.
And you know, I've seen this about 6 times in my life now. It gets better for me every time I see it because it's not as good. It's not nowhere in the same league as the first one. But
Right.
another reason why I mentioned more American Graffiti is here's another example of a DVD. This is another one that I put on. It looked great. And I
Hmm.
looked to see is there a Blu-ray, and there is a
Oh,
Blu-ray. And
okay.
I'm thinking now, do I upgrade? I mean, I always want to upgrade the Blu-ray movies I want to keep.
Hmm.
So I'm saying I should upgrade. But what's interesting is there's one segment in here about Vietnam,
Mm.
and it's shot on 16 millimeter, and it's in the 4:3 square ratio. To me, that's the best story in here. There are 4 stories in here.
Right.
Anyway, and believe it or not, I looked on YouTube, and I guess the clip that they showed on YouTube was from the HD
Mm.
master. Kind of too slick.
Yeah.
That footage
Right.
in a way. I'm like, wait a minute. I like the way the Vietnam scenes look really suitably gritty
Hmm.
in this, and they look too smooth now. So I'm
Right.
like, I don't know, but the rest of it would be enhanced
Hmm. Hmm.
good, and it would work.
Yeah, a couple good spaghetti westerns that were coming up. Duck You Sucker is good.
Oh, I remember that.
Man with the No Name is good. I also like Once Upon a Time in the West, which I enjoy as well with Henry Fonda. Um, yeah, see, I've never seen any of those original, the one before the Tarantino films.
Yeah, I
So
do like Django Unchained,
yeah,
and
right.
that guy's great in there. Christoph Waltz, what's that his name?
Yep.
I
Yep.
love him in that movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, did I ever tell you? Well, I'll tell the story again anytime Cindy Williams comes up. Yeah, she was cute in American Graffiti, first one,
Hmm.
and I got to go to a show where a lot of celebrities were there, and she was there, and I got her to autograph a picture for me from American Graffiti, and I don't like saying stupid things to celebrities. Oh, I'm a big fan. Have all your albums, but in her
Right.
case, I don't know why I said I love American Graffiti. I got to tell you, and I said this may sound weird. I told her, but I watch it every year. And sometimes this wasn't even true. I said sometimes I actually one time I did it with a friend once. I said
Hmm.
sometimes I time it so that the end we watch it so that when the sun comes up at the end, it comes up at the same time as in in real life. And she
Right. Right.
says, and she does it in her best Shirley Feeney kind of way. She goes, Joe, you need to get out more. She said it like in a playful way.
Hmm.
And I thought that was really funny. But
Hmm.
that's my Cindy Williams story. Yeah, Cool Hand Luke, that's me. Anybody, a guy I never had seen Cool Hand Luke, and I used to work at work. A guy said to me, "You know who you are, Cool Hand Luke." That's who you are." And I'm saying, "I don't know what he meant." Oh, okay. And then I saw the movie. I'm like, "Yep, this will get in trouble at work, and I did not follow the rules and all that kind of stuff."
Now,
And you
can
know
you
what?
eat now? Okay.
I won.
Yeah. Now, can you eat 50 eggs? That's the question.
No, well, no, no, can't do that.
Mm.
Can't do that. And again, if I miss any, we miss any questions,
Someone brought something up. It was a JL draw here. Says
Blu-rays, DVDs.
I prefer Blu-rays over DVDs, but I've noticed that a number of Blu-rays go cheap in terms of not replicating what appeared on the DVD
Oh,
several years previous. Yes, commentaries and whatnot. I have
yeah.
noticed that as well, and sometimes that just depends on whether or not they were able to retain the rights, especially if it's from another distributor. Sometimes they can get the rights to the film, but not necessarily the rights to the special features. But I have noticed that. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. You know, but then again, I mean, do you want it to look good and then have nothing, or just stick with the DVD that doesn't look as good and have all
Well,
the special
in a case
features?
like that, I would actually, if I had the DVD already, I'd probably keep the extra disc for the
Yeah.
features.
Hmm.
But some things get disappointing. Like I watched. My girlfriend hates horror movies, but she
Right.
actually was going. She was indulged me in watching The Exorcist, believe it or not, the other night.
Mm.
But I said, "No, I was going to spare you. Instead, we'll just watch The Fear of God, the making of The Exorcist,
No.
from the special features." So I have the I guess it was the latest Blu-ray they made,
Right.
and I watched this thing, The Fear of God, but it was from '98, and it was in the square ratio, the 4:3 is the way it was shot. So,
Hmm.
and it wasn't wasn't HD or anything, so you notice the
Right.
difference is the point of that. And by the way, speaking of my girlfriend, I don't know if you know this, but oh, there it is. That's the one I have. Wait a minute, you frozen a little bit, Cabana. Yeah, that's the
Hmm.
one, right? It opens like a
Yeah.
book. Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Opens like a
yeah.
book.
Um, I have to tell you, my girlfriend wanted to see a movie real bad, so I said okay, and I went to the movies. And it
Hmm.
was a movie that I wouldn't really want to see. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Oh my god. Oh, but at the same time, it's a wholesome movie, and it wasn't a bad story, just more of a girl's movie. But it's about an older woman who's working as a housekeeper in England, and
Hmm.
she decides she wants to try to find a way to travel to Paris to buy this dress that she wants. Wow, an hour and 55 minutes. But anyway, but this is an interesting topic, I think. Tom, did you notice that in recent years, it seems in theaters they hadn't been playing movies like that. They were only playing action, Marvel, teenagers. Now it
Right.
seems like movies like that are coming back in theaters. At least it
Hmm.
seems that way. Like a movie like that 10 years ago would never be in a theater. A little
Hmm.
story that could have been like on a
Well,
television.
not necessarily. I mean, we have art house film theaters out here that will show
Oh,
films like that. You know.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's another one. I don't know what it is. One of the trailers had a movie coming up. It looked like it was an older woman who plays a guitar, and she was out in the desert. I don't know what it was, but I was like, that's like I don't know who the actors are,
Hmm.
and it's like some kind of a television show quality movie, and yet it's going to be on the big screen. I think it's great. I mean that they're doing that, if, at least in my area.
Cool. Yep. Yep.
So
Um, what was overrated here? Let's see here. Oh,
did you
Doctor
find it?
Strangelove. Is that? Do you think that's overrated?
Well, I saw it once. It's not my kind of thing. Anything like war or the bomb or political. It's just not my
Hmm.
thing. But I saw it once and thought it was humorous because of Peter Sellers. But I
Yeah.
don't really remember it well again. Luckily I took, like I said, I've taken notes on all these things, so I
Mhm.
have them somewhere. I just got to track them down. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
this
being a
move.
cute. Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Sorry. No,
I-
say being a Kubrick fan, I really enjoy Strangelove. I don't think it's overrated. I don't know if it's a classic, but I mean it's a really good satire. And Peter Sellers is fantastic. Yeah.
Hi, Lee. The movie The Innocents, I've seen it once again, and I remember enjoying it. I
Is
thought it
that
was a good,
kind of a
spooky
horror?
movie.
Yeah, I think I've seen it. Yeah, I think it was. I think Criterion had it, if I remember correctly, and I think
Yeah,
I
I
have seen it.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Again, don't. It's been so long, 20 years or something, but I remember liking it.
hmm Um.
Yeah, I already told her that's a good one. I have an idea for a present. That's not all I'm gonna get her, but I mean that's L7. What's going on, L7?
Sir James is mentioning Slapshot with Paul Newman, which I had just picked up. It just came out in the steel case recently. I think earlier this year or late last year. Picked it up and watched it, and yeah, I enjoy Slapshot. I don't think it's as funny as maybe people might remember it to be, but it's good.
As far as the 4K thing goes, I think Tom and I we're both in agreement right now that
Yeah,
we don't care about 4K right now, right? Am I
yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm good. I'm good.
So the thing for me is, I think people hate when I say, "Oh, how many years I got left?" At best, I mean,
hmm
I'm not gonna, people say that all the time. I heard people say, "I'm not gonna replace all my albums on CD," and they did. People said,
Yeah,
"I'm not gonna replace all my VHS on the DVD," they did. I'm not gonna
yeah,
replace all my DVD on Blu-ray, they did. But
yeah.
this time,
Right.
because of just because of time, years, um, I'm unlikely to do that. But anyway, long story short, when the time comes that I need a new TV, at some point I'll need a new TV, and it'll have to be 4K because that's what they have,
hmm
I think. And when I get 4K, then I may get a 4K player, as long as they're not outrageously priced, and it'll still boost up the Blu-rays,
hmm
right? And
hmm
then it becomes a matter of, if you're like me, if you say, well, I got a 4K TV, I got a 4K player that I watch my Blu-rays on. But then the movie comes out, do you buy the 4K then or the Blu-ray? Well,
Right.
you buy the
You
4K.
know, yeah, I mean that's the thing that Criterion's doing now, is now that they're in the 4K, but they're also releasing them separately. You can buy a 4K Blu-ray combo, or you can just buy the Blu-ray, or you can just buy the DVD. So at least they're giving you the option.
Uh, yeah. Okay, Jeff. Yeah, my son has a 4K player. Movies look great. I mean, I've heard some things. I mean, especially in the old, like some of the old horror movies that I like Frankenstein and stuff, that you really see like the bolts, like you can see where they're on the neck and
hmm
stuff. You weren't meant to see that
Right.
clear.
Right.
Some of them, you know.
hmm
Um, what do you think? I don't. I've seen some Monty Python. I don't remember all of it. I don't know which one's which.
I well, I'm
Life of
I
Brian, maybe.
Yeah, I'm more Holy Grail than Life of Brian, and I do think it is a very, very funny film. Very funny. The best? Yeah, that's debatable, but I think it's the Monty Python's best film in my opinion.
The one thing about 4K is there's a concern that they will eventually facilitate the phasing out of Blu-ray. DVDs are already being phased out, for instance. Yeah, well, that's okay. See, I get to the point where, again, I say, like, how many years left? It's like if I got like 20 good years left,
Yeah.
25, stuff I have there, as long as I can get, like, I have like four new Blu-ray players.
Mhm.
And so I have a Blu-ray player, assuming they can still connect to the TVs with the cables at the time. I'm
Right.
set with that. And your Blu-rays will never go
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. Yeah. Tim comes up with a good statement here. DVDs outsell Blu-ray and 4K 4 to 1. So,
They
um,
still do.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't even think they offer them sometimes. I mean, people was telling me they can't even find the Blu-rays. Excuse me, the DVD to Get Back. Is that true?
No, I saw it at my at one of my record stores Friday.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I got to go by what Tim is saying. I don't know. I certainly never go for the DVD if I can help it anymore. But it depends really what it is.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like a lot of times in used shops, if I go to a used shop and I see Now there was, in fact, where did I see just a movie that I was almost going to buy? Oh, the Blues Brothers. My
Mm,
record store has a sealed copy of a DVD of the Blues Brothers, and
right.
I've never seen the Blues Brothers, believe it or not.
Hmm.
So it's like, hmm, it costs
Yeah.
$5 sealed.
Yeah.
Do I buy it just for the price of a rental? Blah,
Right.
and just to watch it even once to see it. Some of them I tell you, I put them on. Like I said, not to. I put this on. Here it is, Devil's Advocate. And back then, I actually bought these
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see. Yeah.
clear
Hmm.
clear cases to put them in. This is as good as it was when it came out. And this DVD, I'm not gonna be able to read it. Is I think 1997. The movie's 97. This might be 98, 1998.
Hmm.
But on those lines, a good thing I'll bring up is like this is not a good thing, but it leads to a good thing. We just lost James Caan,
Hmm.
and I had the urge to watch Rollerball, which I
Mm.
have on DVD, and I've
Oh,
never seen the whole thing. Now I pulled out
okay.
the DVD, put it on. It was horrendous looking. It was a 1998 MGM, no frills look. It was kind of grainy. It was. I couldn't get. I had to keep blowing up the image to get the full screen. It really was
Yeah.
not good. And then I just happened to look on Amazon, and apparently next September they're coming out with a
Mhm.
Blu-ray.
Oh, great. Cool.
So I took it
Yeah.
out, and that I don't need.
Yeah.
Just I don't need that DVD from '98.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
need.
It has been released since then, like the
It
Twilight
has
Time that I told you about that
right.
released that hardcore. They obtained the rights to Rollerball, and they put out like a 2 or 3 thousand unit run of that. So I mean, it has been out since. Um, but the thing is, a lot of times those early DVDs they were just transferred over from VHS copies and stuff like that. Not a lot of care was put into those
Yeah,
early
maybe.
DVDs.
I mean, I thought I remembered for me at the time that they always look pretty good. I mean, most of the time they seem better than VHS for me in
Yeah,
'97 because I was a
yeah.
I was a first day adopter. I was
Hmm.
sold on DVD, the concept of DVD. I figured it was just a music compact disc for movies.
Right.
It's gonna do for movies what the CD did for music. So I'm like, I'm there. And I bought right away. And I always thought they looked pretty good, but they some of them could vary. In fact, I had a couple of dogs. One that I'm looking for is the movie Stakeout
Oh yeah,
with
was that Richard Dreyfuss?
yeah,
Okay.
and I really liked that movie. And I think I had a DVD of it, and it looked awful even back then.
Mm.
Just was didn't look good.
Was that Richard
And
Dreyfuss in one of Charlie Sheen, or was it Emilio
Emilio
Estevez?
Estevez,
Emilio, yeah, one of
yeah,
the Sheen brothers. Yeah.
and the beautiful Madeline Stowe,
Oh,
who's in there, and I really liked, and that's where the line comes from. What's on you so cold, mine?
my.
That's where I got that from. But
Yeah.
anyway, and I can't. It's not. I don't think it was ever on Blu-ray, and it's a sequel is with Rosie O'Donnell.
Mm.
I don't
Yes.
need that.
Yes. Yeah.
But I saw that I didn't like it as much.
Yeah. Yeah, James Caan did some good stuff. I don't think he was like a top tier, you know, iconic actor, but he did some really good stuff. The one that I think that people should know more, as well as his role in The Godfather is a movie called Thief, um,
Yeah,
from Michael Mann. I
n-
think he did an excellent job in that
yeah, I've
film.
never seen it, but yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah.
Killer Elite.
Killer Elite. It's that's all right. That's him and Duvall. That's not a bad film. I thought it was a little on the boring side, but it's okay.
I like Misery with him, but
Yeah,
the thing is,
Misery.
I
Yeah.
never think of. I never think he's right for the part, though. I don't know
Mhm.
why. Too much of a tough. I'm used to him as a
Well, see,
tougher
that's the
guy.
thing. Yeah, he's like he can play a tough guy, but he can play a sweetheart
I
sometimes
mean, it
too.
works. It works.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
enjoy the movie. But Kathy Bates mainly to
Oh,
me
she
is
well, yeah, she sold that film. I mean, that's why you see the film for her.
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Um, El Dorado, young James
Yep.
Caan and El
Yep.
Dorado.
That's yeah, John Wayne. film. I think that
Brian's
was
Song.
58. Yeah,
Brian's
yeah.
Song.
That was made for TV. That was a made for TV film.
Thinking Brian. Oh, it reminds me of there's a Charlton Heston football player movie that's not very popular. It's called Number One.
Mm,
I think it's from 1969, and I've never seen it. I just found out that's on Blu-ray, so I just may do a blind buy of that.
mm.
Try to get my Charlton Heston collection
Yeah, why
complete.
not? Why not?
But he has
Yeah.
movies, great movies I haven't seen. I I've never seen El El Cid or El Cid, however you pronounce it.
Really?
I've
Mm,
never seen. I have that. See,
yeah,
I never that one I haven't watched. You know,
yeah. That was Sophia Loren as well, I believe, right? I
yeah,
think. Yeah,
yeah. Pacific is great. Uh, I have it.
yeah. He
It's
said that
Adam.
he said that he didn't really care for working with her because every time he go in to kiss her, her breath smelled like garlic.
That's interesting. I know somebody that he really didn't like work with, Ava Gardner, for other reasons,
Mm. Oh,
for
really?
like prima donna reasons.
Uh,
But yeah.
gotcha. Yep. Uh, Daniel Bean, one of Duvall's first roles was as Caddy in Bullet. Well, you can go even further back in. I mean, it was with his first role in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Why is that,
Uh,
Michelle? um, mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that at all. I think the reason Rosie O'Donnell got the part was because she could do the laugh, did the Betty Rubble giggle, if I
Mm.
remember correctly. I saw that movie. I thought John Goodman was a good choice at the time for Fred Flintstone. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah.
who you gonna get?
Rick Moranis, I thought was okay too.
Bonnie
Um,
Rubble.
yeah, but yeah, Rosie, but I think she was. I think her stock was rising during that time, for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't know why.
I got a confession to make. Back in the days in the early '90s when I was collecting autographs, like I'd go down to like the Regis and Kathy Lee show or whatever
Mm,
show, NBC Studios, whatever in Manhattan, and if a celebrity was there, I'd get their autograph. Why not?
right.
And she was there, Rosie O'Donnell, and I didn't despise her then so much, but I actually ran like a couple with other fans. Like taxi was going to
Right.
a couple of blocks to get her autograph. I actually ran for Rosie O'Donnell. I can't believe it.
That's funny.
Can't believe it. And
uh,
Woody Allen, man, I could tell you autograph stories all day. Woody Allen, oh, that was a great experience. I got Woody Allen's autograph. I remember I got up in the morning and I wanted to go to Manhattan just to get Woody Allen's autograph. So it's funny because now you think of stalking. I wasn't thinking of stalking really. This was 1994, I believe, and he was making a movie. He was having a lot of problems with it at the time. It was in the news that he was having problems with this movie. It might have been Everyone Says I Love You. It
the
might have been
musical.
that movie. Maybe, or was that too? No, it was might be Mighty Aphrodite. I don't
Mm,
know. I think it was a Mighty Aphrodite. But anyway, be that as it may. So I'm like thinking, I know where his apartment is. And I'm not going to stand by the door. I'm going to wait like across the street or something. And he loves New York. He's in and out all the time. So
yeah.
anyway, I take a long journey there. I get out of the cab. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning in the city. The sun is up. It's a beautiful morning, and I'm like looking at this long city blocks. I got to walk these very long city blocks to get this apartment. Wow, like 10 city blocks. And I'm like, here we go. And I start walking, and there's nobody on the streets yet. And all of a sudden, I see
Mm.
two figures. As soon as I start walking, they're coming my way. And I get closer and closer. I can see it's Woody Allen and Sun Yi. And I'm
Ah,
like, holy, there they are. I'm like, I can't believe it. I said, I don't have to do anything. They're coming my way. So I start reaching. He starts knowing as he gets closer. I'm reaching into my pocket for something to
mm,
sign. And he's like, he has like this hat, fisherman's kind of hat. And he like puts it over his head, thinking I'm not going to recognize him. And he goes to cross the street, but I kind of intercept him at the corner. And I'm like, hey, Mr. Allen. I said, hello. He acted like he wasn't trying to avoid me. And I said, yeah, I was wondering, yeah. man, can I have your autograph? Well, oh, sure. And he was so cool, signed the autograph. And I just said to him, because what I heard in the newspapers, I said, good luck with the film. Oh, thank you very much. He
Mm.
said like that, and he crossed the street. It was just so cool. I thought it was so cool
Put
meeting
the
Woody.
hat down.
Yeah, yeah, he had, that kind of like, I don't know what you call it,
Right.
that like a fisherman
Right.
floppy hat thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great. Yeah, I got some autograph stories, all right. Yeah. Man.
You can see Woody Allen every Monday night at Michelle's or Michael's Pub. Okay. Do you have favorite Woody Allen film?
Oh, that's a tough one. But I'll name some off the top of my head. This is no particular order. Broadway Danny Rose, I like.
Mm, yeah.
I love Crimes and Misdemeanors.
Mm,
Hannah and His Sisters.
mm,
Um, I like Small Time Crooks, even though that's not considered one of his best. A lot of later ones here I'm naming.
yeah.
Uh, yeah. Sleeper. Well, you mentioned Sleeper. Sleeper was like the first movie I ever saw of his, and if I'm going to start anybody on a Woody Allen movie, I have to probably start him on that because it's all out comedy and stuff. And that's what I
Yeah.
started my nephew on.
Right.
That's the first one I saw. But now I also like Husbands and Wives. Believe it or not,
Oh, I
with
found that to be the most boring Woody Allen
we must
film.
yeah, we must have mentioned this because I seem to remember us talking about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Manhattan Murder Mystery, but and Annie Hall I don't think is as much as everybody says. Maybe that's only because to me it seems like maybe at the time, if I would have caught it at the time, I would have thought, oh, this is really not. Now it's just one of the same kind of thing. All his movies are similar.
Mm.
Have you seen any of his more recent ones, like
Yeah,
Cafe Society?
that one I haven't seen yet. But I do tend to see all of his films when they come out. Like Wonder Wheel, I think was the last one that I saw that came out. Um, and yeah, there's some good ones in there. The what was it, Midnight in Paris or something like that.
Oh, my girlfriend
Um,
loved that movie.
yeah,
Oy.
I thought it was really good. Yeah.
But the thing
Um,
is, I kind of prefer to see them when he's in the movie. I mean, I
yeah,
still
yeah.
like some of them. I remember liking Match Point a lot at the
Hmm.
time. I
Match
thought that
Point,
was very different.
yeah, the ones he does with Scarlett Johansson, I tend to really like. Vicky, what's
Barcelona or something.
Barcelona? Yeah, that one I enjoyed. Irrational Man, that one I think was one of my least favorites. Um, JL draw there. Didn't really care for that one too much.
Yeah, I mean, I find something to like in almost all of them. Well, almost all. Uh, I went on a real binge one time. Watched a lot of
Yeah,
stuff. I watched stuff even like Shadows and Fog,
yeah. I've
which
seen
is
them
not
all.
that popular.
I think the one that disappointed me the most was just because I love Larry David so much. Whatever works, I thought that one wasn't,
I
nowhere
don't know
near
if
as
I
good.
caught. I don't know if I caught that one.
Mm,
I don't know if I caught it, but they seem like such knockoff. After a while, they're just the same thing. A lot of them, I think.
mm,
Like anything else, I think was one of them.
mhm.
And I was like,
Yeah,
I don't think
anything
he was.
else was bad. That was
Yeah, I
bad.
thought that's
Mm,
just like the same
yeah,
old thing. You know.
yeah,
Um. Yeah. What's up, Tiger Lily? Yeah.
yeah. Cell League is one of my favorites as well. And yeah,
I
Take the Money
walked
and
out
Run, I
on
think
that.
was good. Did you?
I
Oh man.
well, you see, you got to see. I haven't seen it since, but when it came
Yeah.
out, I was 21.
Hmm.
Zelig. I went, but it was worth it. It was worth it. I was with a girl, and we went back. It was worth it.
Hmm.
Put it
Okay.
that way. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
And so
Yep.
that was worth it. Went back to the car instead. And but I just found it dull at the time. But now I'm sure I'd appreciate it now.
Mhm.
I just thought, it wasn't what I was expecting. Least favorite film. I have so many. I love when I have so many of something and I can't think of any. Isn't that crazy? That happy? Like I know there's a lot
Uh,
of. I remember hating that movie 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
yeah.
I remember walking out of the film Wired, John
Mhm.
Belushi,
Oh,
not documentary, the biopic or something.
Leonard
Um,
Part 6, starring Bill Cosby. Um, Howard the Duck. I couldn't stand that film.
Oh, yeah, I never saw.
You know.
Yeah, I saw the front. I remember thinking it was pretty good. I,
Don't think I've seen that one.
yeah, it's more serious if I remember right for Woody Allen, if I remember. But this is interesting because I just happened to watch a YouTube video with Woody Allen talking about Stallone
Yeah,
being in
yep,
Bananas,
Bananas. Yep,
and he
yep.
said, if I remember correctly, you get it right. There's a couple of guys that had to do a scene on a train where they're
Mhm.
kind of tough guys or something. He says, "I'm looking for these tough guys. Are you kidding me? And you send me a couple of dancers. Like these guys didn't seem tough enough. Like Stallone didn't seem tough enough, and it worked out as it turned out.
Mhm. Yeah. Then there's the film he did early on called Italian Stallion, which didn't come out, I think, until he was a big star.
Did you ever see the Lords of Flatbush?
Yeah, yeah, but not since
I was
the
wondering,
'80s. Yeah.
yeah, I was wondering what you thought because I mean that it's not a very good movie, but it has that '70s
Yeah,
vibe to it that was made in the '70s. I mean, it's a '50s movie, but
but it has
about
the
the '50s.
'70s look. Yeah, but I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about. Yeah,
and
yeah.
but I saw that with I can't remember what I saw. See, I get it mixed up. I always think I saw it with American Graffiti, but that's not true. I think I saw American Graffiti with the documentary "Let the Good Times Roll."
Mm.
Was what I saw together. I mean, what those double features. Here I go. Those were great, man. Uh, yeah, that's right. He's in the prisoner. Stallone's in the prisoner of Second Avenue as a guy that steals Jack Lemon's wallet as a
Ah.
thug. Well, he thinks I don't want to spoil the scene. Jack Lemon's tired of being bullied around, so he chases him like 10 blocks and tackles him. Give me my wallet. It was great.
So if you have a favorite actor, would you get everything that you could find with that actor?
It might depend on the actor. Like I could tell you, Charlton Heston is my favorite actor, and as I
Well,
always
yeah.
say, I always feel defensive because not because I think
Right.
he's the greatest actor, but the thing is, I just the heroic persona that he has,
Right.
and I grew up with him in Planet of the Apes, the Ten
Right.
Commandments, and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, and I try to get all of his movies. I watch anything if he's in it, but then again, there's certain titles I've never gotten around. Like I don't care about Midway. I
Mm.
don't care about what's the other one? Major Dundee, Sam
Okay.
Peckinpah. Like,
Yeah, that was okay. That was
it's like
okay film.
certain titles I just but I would try. And then the other one is Pacino. But again, Pacino, we always go with him. We talk about him and De Niro. But the thing is, I don't have all his movies either, and I don't think he's always. I don't think he's a great actor either. But I like him. Something about him I like. You
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I was
and the
just
Out
like,
of Towners. I love the
yeah,
Out
the
of
Out of
Towners.
Towners.
Just
Out of Towners is good. Yeah, I enjoy that one.
you were saying.
No, but I'm just saying it's my favorite five favorite actors. I would definitely, even if those movies are bad, I would still, and I have them, because De Niro has made a lot of bad films over the last 20 years, in my opinion. But I still have them, But for me, De Niro, Burt Lancaster, Marlon Brando, Montgomery Clift, and Paul Newman. For me, I would watch anything that those five do.
Let me get them straight. Now, name them again.
De Niro, Burt Lancaster, Marlon Brando, Montgomery Clift, and Paul Newman.
Yeah, I saw a Marlon Brando movie that I really hated, and I think we
Mhm.
might have talked about this in the past too. And was it Night of the Following Day or something
Night
like
of the
that?
Following Day. Yeah. I mean, I have that. Yeah,
I
and it's
didn't like
not one
that,
of his best. It's not one of his
but
best.
anything else I've seen him in. Well, also I didn't bother watching in the Island of Doctor Moreau
Right.
either.
Yeah.
But I like other stuff, all the great stuff on the waterfront, Streetcar.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean
those
those
50
movies.
50 films, those 50 films from the 50s are
Yeah,
excellent.
yeah.
FD Superstar thoughts on De Niro as Frankenstein. I admire him for trying, but I wouldn't have. I would never would have casted him.
Okay. Well, I still say in his defense, the whole thing for me, the only problem with him as the monster in the Frankenstein film was that it's De Niro. It looks like De Niro.
That's
If there
that's the
if there
problem.
if there
Exactly.
was no Robert De Niro,
Right.
it would be fine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing was but De Niro is so established at that point in time. To have him, you can put all the makeup on and prosthetics or whatever on him. It's still gonna be De Niro, and that I think is one of the issues. Yeah, absolutely.
Robert, I know I definitely did not see Day of the Dolphin in the theater. I saw American Graffiti at least twice in the theater as
Yeah.
as an 11-year-old, and I know for sure it wasn't Day of the Dolphin. I know the movie George C.
Yeah.
Scott. Um, I think it was Let the Good Times Roll.
Mm,
Chuck Berry. Well, I remember. Well, he's not. Chuck Berry was in it.
mm.
Scenes of all the people were in it. It was like an old golden oldies thing.
Kimba, Raintree County. Yeah, I had it on VHS. I don't think it's ever been released on DVD or Blu-ray. They've been talking for decades about it being restored and released, but to this day it still hasn't. So
Well, the thing about two directors, they call it like how do you say it? Auteur theory.
mm,
Auteur,
a tour.
auteur.
Yeah.
I still don't. I still say, for me, in my opinion, there are directors that have a style, and it's them. And
Yeah.
I would see films because of the director, but some directors, to me, it's like two different things altogether. Like I wouldn't think it's the same guy, you
Hmm.
know. So it depends. The ones that have a definite style, I like to see. The ones that not, I don't follow. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of directors like Paul Thomas Anderson for me. I think he's the best director working today. I do like Wes Anderson films. I do like David Fincher films, and Tarantino obviously. So yeah, I mean, there's quite a few directors I follow as well, especially past directors too.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Uh,
sure that it would be.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm not sitting next to Joe. What the hell?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was in the accident while filming Raintree County. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it is a bit hazy. Like I said, I mean that they've been talking about restoring that film for decades now. Yes,
Anthony,
yes, yes.
I've seen Devil Race 2000 a long time ago. I
Yeah,
don't remember it though, but yeah, he plays. It's in the race where he's gonna kill people for points.
yep,
Another needless remake. Sorry. Well,
yeah,
actually, I think I would have got it good, but
yeah. I enjoy some of those Corman films. Yeah, yeah. Island Document. Yeah, the Island. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, you got something there.
well, I don't know how many Pacino movies even seen now. I don't know what the last one I've seen is. I can't.
Well,
New
you know,
movie.
I
New
thought he
movie.
was really good in The Irishman as Jimmy Hoffa. I thought he did a fine job there. That's the thing. I mean, you get a certain age, you just don't always get those meaty roles that when you got when you were younger. Brando and Candy is kind of humorous in a way. I mean, he appears last in the film, and it's fine.
Yeah, De Palma. Now he's got a. That's your example. I don't like Phantom of the Paradise.
Oh, I love it.
And
Love
you would,
Phantom.
and I would think that I would.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah,
I mean, it's got everything in it that I would like, but for some reason, but I see, I don't see anything in there that I would say, well, that's De Palma. But
right.
I love Carlito's Way,
Yeah,
and I love Scarface.
yeah,
I love Dress to Kill.
yeah. Blowout.
Um, is that the one with
With
John
Travolta,
Travolta?
Travolta,
So,
yeah, and
you know, it was on not too long ago on TV. I never saw it, but it was on TV within the last year,
mhm,
and I watched maybe the first like half hour of it, but then I never made it to the end,
yeah.
so I don't know.
He's had
But I
the,
saw another movie that sucked with him. The I thought sucked. Oh man,
The first Mission Impossible movie I thought he did was terrible.
that was De Palma.
Yeah, the first Mission Impossible film.
What
Yeah.
was the one? Come on, John
Oh
Lithgow.
yeah, the Lithgow.
I
I
thought
know which one you're
Raising
talking about.
Cain. I hated
Raising
that thing.
Cain. Yeah.
Uh,
Carrie is great. The Untouchables is great. I mean, he's done some really good stuff.
oh, Tom Selleck. I look like him.
Well, there's some good sports films out there. Yeah, that Island of Dr. Moreau with Brando is terrible. I do like the Burt Lancaster version of the
For
Island
me,
of
there's
Dr.
only the Lawton version. I mean,
Yeah,
I love the '33 one. But I did see the Lancaster one. That it's not too bad. But I prefer the
yeah,
Charles Lawton.
right. Clear Coat. I really enjoy Last Tango in Paris. I think has a great performance in that role, or in that film, I should say. Let's
British mystery films. I don't know of any.
see here.
This is actually going pretty well. I was only thinking an hour originally. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. I mean,
Mhm.
can't make them too long.
All right.
This might be a regular feature. uh,
Blowout is good. Yeah, and Criterion. Let's see here. What else you got?
don't forget Scent of a Woman.
Yeah. See, but that's where like Pacino became like, with that hoo ha, and
I knew
he's
you were gonna say.
and
well,
the screaming, he's always got to raise his voice now in a film, you know.
well, he was doing that even before that. I think. Yeah, he was doing that before, wasn't he?
Well, Scarface,
But I mean, like and like I think like the Devil's Advocate, it suits it at the end when he's the devil.
yeah.
Take it from me, I raise my voice. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So it's not unnatural to me. But when he did that was just a kind of quirky thing that the Colonel did
Yeah.
in that
Yeah,
movie.
Edward Serpico. I think that might be my favorite Pacino film. I mean, not including Godfather 1 or 2, but I love Serpico.
I never saw Body Double.
Oh, that's another film that Criterion has, De Palma film. So they got Blowout, they got Body Double. Was it Body Double, or am I thinking of something else? I might be thinking of something else, not Body Double. But damn it,
He did Wise Guys.
hmm,
Yeah,
I gotta
right.
look it up real quick. Mm, There you go. There you go, AB. You know it.
Well, Andy, you can see it on your own. By the way, Andy, are we gonna go see the monsters? You're gonna have to call in sick for work, and we'll go
Dress
first
to
show.
Kill is what I'm thinking. Dress to Kill is on Criterion. Blowout is on Criterion.
Yeah, and the MGM looks Just to Kill looks better.
Uh-huh.
uh,
Sisters is Criterion. Yep.
da,
Yep.
da,
Wise
da,
Guys
da,
from
da.
1986. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Dress to Kill subject matter could fly. I'm probably not gonna ban that movie. Ridiculous.
Yeah, and Justice for All too is another one of my favorites with Pacino.
You may have to ask Tom exclusively about this one.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah, they do. Not everyone's perfect.
I don't know which ones. Well, they better make this cheaper then. I mean, geez.
Mm.
But I don't know. I mean, some of them I really like, and
Well,
some of them
see,
not
you
so much.
can't because a lot of the films that they put out are not necessarily are more like for film freaks. A lot of the films they put out are foreign films, which aren't
Oh,
necessarily always
foreign films, yeah,
big
yeah.
sellers.
But like they
So
put out, like they did a great job with Rosemary's Baby.
right. Yeah. Hmm.
For example, I like that one, but that's not a obscurity.
Right.
Um, but that's one that I liked. I liked the Hard Day's Night.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know,
Adam, I think the JFK film, if you're talking about the Oliver Stone one, I really enjoy that film. I
yeah,
think
I
Joe
didn't see it.
Pesci, yeah, Joe Pesci gives a great performance in that JFK film. Um, yeah, Kimba, I just bought I got in the last our last Barnes and Noble sale. I picked up that JFK. one. And yeah, I tend to get the documentaries too. I didn't get Town Hall one though yet. Yeah, Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, that's right. Criterion did get the rights back to that. Deserted.
I don't know
No,
what
that
that is.
doesn't
This is
ring
not
a
one you're
bell.
making up, is it, Adam?
Slow down, Adam. Slow down.
Oh well, this is easy for me. Laurel and Hardy all the way for me. But
Mm,
you know, I don't have that movie either. I should have bought it, but that's another one I've later found out was not very accurate.
what's that?
Jeez, the Laurel and Hardy, Stan and Ollie. It was that
Oh, standing.
came out.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Um,
Gotcha. Well, Matthew Smith. My favorite Kurosawa will probably be High and Low or Seven Samurai. I'm a Seven Samurai junkie.
I will say yes to a Tall K, which is the last Laurel and Hardy movie that's maligned to death. Um, it's actually funnier in spots than some of their other later films on from Fox, in my opinion.
Right.
But there you go. And I saw the movie Cruising on
That's a
video,
tough watch. That's
but
a
I
tough
don't remember
watch.
anything. I
Mm,
saw it, and I know the year, 1986. I rented it
yeah.
with a friend in '86, and I don't remember a thing about it.
Yeah, I rented it in the early '90s, and I couldn't finish it. I mean, just but that's who I was then. I mean, I can watch it now, but that's a disturbing film. You know, a lot of that stuff that took place in the bars were real. You know, the William Freakin, he went to gay bars, and all of that stuff that took place were stuff that happened every night. So kudos for him
Yeah, I
for
don't
trying to get
remember it.
the most accurate as
Let's
possible.
let's just be careful here.
Yeah, well, yeah, I am. Yeah, Kimba. Give me shelter counts. Yeah, I have all of those music documentaries from Criterion as well. So, but what did was Woodland just put one up? Did you just put one up from Woodland?
uh, how could you think of a favorite movie ending? I mean, I probably got like 50 of them, but I can't think of one.
Yeah,
How about
yeah,
an officer and a gentleman?
mm,
I mean, that's not my favorite, but
yeah.
when what's his name goes in and picks up Deborah Winger out of the factory, takes her away.
Mm,
How's that for a romantic, huh? Am I a
yeah,
romantic?
yeah. I have
I
to
mean,
think about
I
that.
love that movie, boy. I love that movie in the theater, and then I got the VHS and I watched it like 20 times, and now I never want to see it again. Ever
Mm,
since then, I don't know why. Too much. It overdosed on it. That's why.
yeah, looking for Mr. Goodbar, Diane Keaton. Yep.
Oh, I did see recently. Shoot the Moon with Diane Keaton and Albert Finney, and the end was ridiculous.
Mm,
But anyway, I saw that in the movie theater.
gotcha.
Just happened to something that popped in my head when he said Diane. When he said Diane Keaton.
Mm.
Do 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 do. Well, we'll go a little longer. Maybe like another 7 minutes. Make it 90 minutes.
Excuse me. Elizabeth McGovern. Was she the one that was in Once Upon a Time in America with De Niro? Um,
I can't picture her. I know
Fresh.
the name, and I cannot. Somebody brought this up the other day. Was it you, Woodland?
Mhm. I mean, if that's the case, I've only seen a couple of her films. I'll have to look her up real quick. Hmm. Repo Man's okay.
It was Woodland Goblin.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she does Downtown Abbey now. I have no interest in that.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to
Swingers.
watch Jigsaw. All these different movies. I just was it was
Yeah.
going to be a horror channel. Now it's back to the Everything Goes movie channel, but mostly specializing in horror.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I
Doo-doo.
really seen her in is Once Upon a Time in America. So
So was James
rag
Cagney.
ragtime. That's right. Ragtime. Ordinary People. Yeah.
All right.
You don't like movies with happy endings. Oh.
Although you would hate Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Mm.
Off the cuff film. What is that? What do you mean?
Yeah, that's
Like,
right. Ragtime was his last film.
there you go.
Hmm. What's
David
my
Lynch.
favorite Lynch film? Blue Velvet. I know
She wore.
Blue. Yeah, Criterion just announced Lost Highway, which I'm looking forward to. But you know what?
Well,
Blue Velvet and it's in Elephant Man. It's probably like 1A, 1B. You know, I really do enjoy Elephant Man as well.
Johnny Hanson. Was that with Michael Keaton?
Mickey Rourke,
Mickey
wasn't
Rourke?
it? Oh no. Johnny Handsome. Was it Johnny Handsome or Johnny Handsome Lee? Or was that Jeez, man. A lot of films. I don't remember.
Baby dance film. Oh, yeah. I don't know, but I love looking at Faye Dunaway in that movie. That's all I know. No, the spoiler is that she wanted two. She wanted two dresses, and the dress that she really wanted the most, she couldn't get, so she had to settle for another one. She went home with it and loaned it out to somebody who it went on fire. She's so depressed, but then guess what? They send her the company from Paris sends her the one she wanted, her first choice, as a gift. Her a happy ending. God, that's the kind of movie I'm trying to get my girlfriend to watch Jigsaw. Forget it. You can't, I gotta watch Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I gotta watch Christmas in July on a Hallmark channel. God.
There you go. Favorite Canadian film: Strange Brew. No.
First of all, I
Uh,
gotta know which films are Canadian. I can tell you,
yeah.
it's probably
Um,
200 of them I like.
some of those early David Cronenberg films, like Breed or Brood. I'm sorry, Brood. Um, what's the other one that had the 12 Angry Men? Yes, love it.
It's one of the greatest films ever made, I think. However, I've seen it a lot of times. It's got great performances in it,
Mm.
but I think it's an agenda-driven film. To tell you the truth.
Even way back then, Joe.
Well, I didn't see it. Well, that's a good point. I don't know. That's a good point.
Yeah, Rabbit is another good Cronenberg film too.
Oh, that
Uh,
was with the porn star Marilyn
yep,
Chambers.
Malin Chambers. Yep.
Look at Matthew Smith.
Yeah, Matthew Smith's my Criterion buddy. So is Kimba.
Boy, see, I still don't get that. No, I'm lost with that. Like so-called Criterion fans, I don't get that
Right.
because they have, like just for the sake of the releasing studio.
Hmm.
I mean, the company that puts them out. Unless you like their way they handle movies,
Hmm.
packaging and
Right. Right. Right.
extras.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
because they put so much different type of stuff. They put the Blob out.
Hmm.
Then
Hmm.
they put out like foreign, you know,
Yeah. Foreign,
classic.
classic, B films. I like their, that they. It's just not like one genre. I like that they put out all types of different.
Well, don't most companies put out a lot of
But yeah.
genres?
Yeah.
Like this one here is Universal, for example, More American
Mhm.
Graffiti. They got a lot of stuff. Du-du-du-du-du-du. Hallmark Channel shouldn't even enter into this conversation. You got that right, Beans. Holy cow! She like, oh, will come home when she's got. I like summer. Don't piss on my summer with Christmas. Otherwise, I'm going to have Summer in December for you. Okay.
Capone, what about it?
I don't remember. I don't remember loving Uncle Buck. I mean, I do like John Candy, but I don't like. And I hate The Great Outdoors. I didn't like either. I don't know what was so special. My favorite John Candy movie is Only the Lonely, but
Hmm.
that's because it's a lot like Marty with Ernest Borgnine. Really,
I love Marty.
that's one of my favorite movies.
Hmm.
Hey, it's time to quit. It's an hour and a half. I don't want the video to go on too long, even though I'm having enough fun. If I wasn't going to leave it as a video, I'd say let's just go on. But let's be back another time. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Do this again soon.
we had a good time. I had a good time. Time just flew by.
Mm.
And come on, watch our other channels. What's yours again?
What's mine again?
I know what
Talk
it
More
is, but
Talk and Two Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast. But
yeah,
that's
subscribe to this channel if you haven't already too.
yeah.
Mayo After Dark, and when during the daytime you can subscribe to Mean Mr. Mayo.
Mm.
All right, everybody. So we'll talk about that. Save your questions for next time, Adam. Boy, you make me
It's
tired. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
yeah.
See you all
See you
soon.
guys. Yep. See you soon.